Well, hello everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well during this distance learning time. Until hopefully only May 4th is the goal, and hopefully that's it. I'll kind of give you a couple of updates of class. Um, I am going to have a check-in like I did Monday, and I'll have it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So basically the days we hold class. And I just need you to check in. It'll be a question, might be a couple questions, that's it. Just fill it out because that's how I'm going to take attendance for class. And you get the whole day, so it's not like you got to fill it out at 7 in the morning or anything like that, but just make sure you get it done during the day because then when Friday rolls around, I have to send some stuff into the school. So with class, I'm trying to figure out how to run the last couple months. Don't worry about, like, we're going to start a project here and I'll kind of explain it, is don't worry about getting hung up like I got to get this done by what date. Each time we have class, just work on it a little bit, and if you're really bored, work on it. And I know some seventh graders of mine are extremely bored, so they've been emailing me a lot and they want to get everything done, so I'll kind of leave that up to you. I'm trying to figure something out for Photoshop. Trying to do some maybe remote desktop is what I'm trying to get in the works. So it'd be basically you would be working from your Chromebook and accessing Photoshop at the school. I'm trying to look at some other programs. There's some other ones out there, but they're just not as good online. And I don't know if your Chromebooks will work, and they seem to be really slow when I do stuff like that. So I've kind of be careful with that. So with that, yeah, here we go. So what the newest project, and this would have been the next thing we work on, and you can kind of think of this too, is I have this and I have one more like partner project, and I'll explain that of course when I get there. So I'm going to flip around here and have my screen so you can see this. So this is what you are actually going to create. As you can see here, here's the train tracks. So you can see there's 5 of them. You wouldn't have to do 5. You'd make 1, and then you can always duplicate it. Now, you look at this, and you're like, oh, it's impossible. And if you look, if I click on this, I should get it. It should, as you can see, it's moving with it. So that is what your goal is. Now, how do you accomplish that? Some of you are looking at it right now, and you're thinking, oh, help me. This is going to be tough. And there are parts where it's going to be tough. For some of you I know are worried like, oh, you won't be there to help me, as I read some of your questions from the previous check-in on Monday. And this is the thing, is my thought is this: if you need help on Friday, we could run a Google Hangout session, and where I could see you and what questions you have for me, and I can answer them. And that's kind of how we'll run it, especially when you're working on a project. If you're working on it on a different day, just email me. Maybe I can go in there and see what you're trying to do and try to figure it out. That's kind of the other thing, is when you share it with me, then at least I can get access and I can go in and work on stuff. So this will also be in Google Classroom, and you'll see it. This is actually something from Project Lead the Way, when high school class that I got trained on. And this was a project. Now, all of this doesn't work perfectly because of this is from a Inventor. And of course, we're using Onshape, so it's going to be a little different. Now, I just presented the whole thing here. Let me go down. So here we go. We're going to start off here, and you can see, of course, here's going to be the train body. I'm going to give you a general outline that you can definitely look at and follow. Just make sure that if you do have a question, just ask. Now, this isn't set in stone. There are multiple ways to do this, okay? And this is one way of looking at it. And if you look through, it'll tell you how to pick stuff, but you got to be careful because this is Autodesk Inventor, not Onshape, so it's not perfect. But it does go through and tell you what to draw and how to do it. Even like this, we have a 3-point arc in Onshape, so a lot of it is going to be very similar. And you can go through and it'll tell you how to extrude and what to do. And you can see here, I'm not going to click through all of them. Okay, so there's basically a handful of parts that make this up. First is, of course, the body, and then next is going to be the wheels, and then last but not least is going to be the track, and then the hardest thing will actually be putting it together. And my thought is this: I want you to try some of this because I think you guys are all capable of handling this. By the stuff you've done, you can do this. So I'm going to give you this presentation, and you can look at it and check it out. Now, the second part to this is, and here's the second part, along with the slideshow, you are going to get this. And what this is going to be the dimensions that you're looking at. Now, someone looks at this and they just shut down. They're like, oh, I don't get it. Well, it's not as hard as it looks as long as you just break it down. Now, if you look and follow kind of both of these along, it'll work. So this is my thought, is you're going to start this project today. And honestly, don't spend 4 hours on it today. Unless you really want to, I guess I guess that's completely up to you. But spend an hour and just get a basis of starting it. Okay. Contact people that are really good in Photoshop, friends of yours, or Photoshop, sorry, Onshape, that you're like, wow, they're really good at it. And just kind of work your way together through it. I mean, that's fine also. Or on Friday, what I will do is I will have I can do any type of hangout. If you just email me, like, I could use some help, could we just meet face to face? I'll set up a meeting time. That would be the easiest to do instead of me saying, all right, everyone, all 23 of you come in at 9 o'clock. It just gets to be too confusing. So if you do want to set one up, or it's like 4 of you or 5, I'll kind of leave that up to you. And if you want to set up a meeting with me, we can definitely meet and go over that and explain to make sure that you understand it. So with that, you can see here's the different parts. Eventually, when we're done, I'm going to show you how to do this. This is called an exploded view, which you take something, think of anything that you buy, like a piece of furniture, and you open it up, and it's not together. It's this view here, which is called the exploded view. We'll make that also in Onshape with this. And just, once you make all the parts, this is actually pretty easy. It makes the parts list for you. Now, looking at these, please name them what they're called. So part 1 called the train body, and you can see all of this. And part 2, the stack. A lot of people always ask me, how do you make this? One way, when you get to this, that I would do it, is you can draw into the shaded part here. If you draw that all the way around, and then just revolve it. That would work. Again, and that's one way. There's so many different ways to do these that I can't tell you one way. Hitch magnet here. You can see that one's pretty simple. Hitch peg. Don't get stuck on this SR208. I'm not too worried about that. You're just trying to, this is the number that matters, the 1/4 inch. And of course the height and everything, the top of it's not the biggest deal. The wheel, and this is going to basically take everything that we have learned, and here it is, okay? Because here you have your circular pattern, here you have revolving, you have everything that we've done in class, and you're going to do it here. And you can see here, when you do that circular pattern, these are going to be all the numbers that you punch in. And we have an axle peg. The one thing about the axle peg, I'm telling you right now, you do not have to thread it, okay? Right now, we're not going to do it. It's just a complicated step, and without me there, I think it's just going to cause a lot of headaches. So don't worry about threading it. You have to make it. Just don't worry about the thread. And then, of course, you have the linkage arm. And you're just making one of everything of these, because if you need to make a second one, you just copy it. And then the linkage peg. Okay, now the cow catcher. This will get a little confusing, making the cow catcher. We have an issue sometimes with this front, and I'll explain what we're going to do for that. I will probably make a video for the cow catcher. Going on here, and then when you're done, there's your assembled train, and then here is your track. And you only have to make one of these, because once you make one, you can just make a whole bunch, okay? So the 2 things that you're going to get from me are going to be this, which is in a PDF, and you're also going to get the Google slideshow of how to make it. The Google slideshow is a little more, this is how you do it. If you don't want that, you can look at this and definitely make it. What I tell everyone, the first thing I would do is I would start out with this outside, the outside of this, and make it as one total block, and then start taking stuff away. Too many people try to make like a rectangle and they add this. Nope, it's all solid. And then you start taking the rest of away, and it just makes it a lot easier. So with that, I think I've rambled on for almost 11 minutes. That's plenty. And I hope everyone is doing well at home. I hope everyone's healthy. And I am still getting the vinyl printer, so I still want to do some Photoshop stuff. So there would be a case to be able to print there, like vinyl print. So I'm still working on all that. So I'm hoping to get a couple more answers here in the next couple weeks. So other than that, if there's any questions, email me. That is definitely the fastest way to get a hold of me. I have my email all the time on my phone. It rings. So if you email me, I'm getting back to you. Okay. Other than that, if there's any questions, the only thing you need to do right now is start on the train. And kind of, we're going to progress as we go through this. It'll be a few weeks. You're not going to have it done this week or next week. We're probably going to push a month because we're only having this 3 days a week. Okay. Again, any questions, please email me. Other than that, nice talking to everyone. Have a good day.